The Xbox One versus the PlayStation 4. Holy crap, what a rivalry. First, let's talk about the controller. The PS4 controller is a nice controller. It has a nice touchpad along with some buttons here and sticks. I don't know, man, it's a pretty good controller. But I actually got my Xbox One before I got my PS4. And I was on the Xbox side, being that this DualShock 4 controller was like too clunky for my thumbs to rest on. I don't know, man, that's what it was. So I was always an Xbox guy. The Xbox controller has perfect thumbsticks, which is great. And, I'm a little bit biased of it, but, who cares? Who really cares? But you know what? It has AA batteries. Boo! That's honestly trash. I hate that. I like the rechargeable battery, hence why I got one, which is great. All right, let's talk about the price.
At $499 in the US, and 499 euros in European markets, and 429 pounds in the UK.
It came with a freaking Kinect, which if you don't know what a Kinect is basically a giant camera that will capture your body movements, and you get to say the word Xbox to it, which was really great. And then the PlayStation 4 was like $300 or $400, and it had, I believe, a lot more games to it at launch, because Xbox was just known as like TV and movies and games, and PlayStation was just focusing on games, which is great. So that's a plus. There's this funny moment with I think the president of PlayStation and some other dude versus the Xbox. The games were tied to your account. Ugh, it just sucks. It just sucked. Now you picked your console, which probably is the PlayStation at this point, which many people went with. So let's talk about why you bought the console. Games. I have Uncharted 4, Spider-Man, and Infamous Second Son, to name a few games that I have on the PS4. The Xbox One, well, I only have 2 that are first party, and you want to see what they are? It's pretty bad, man. Kinect Sports Rivals and freaking Forza Horizon Day 1 Edition. Day 1 Edition, which is... Ooh. These are pretty decent games. However, I like the PlayStation side better if you take the rose-tinted glasses off. So you got your games, you plugged in the console, and now you see this lovely loading screen. An update. An update loading screen. And then once that's done, you get this lovely UI. So let's talk about the UI. Let's start with Xbox. Xbox has this UI that was kind of like Windows 8 with all these tiles and stuff. And not gonna lie, I thought it was freaking cool as a kid. I told my dad like there was a bunch of apps and games, and you can do parties. It was unlike the Wii U, because the Wii U was trash. Hence why I sold the Wii U. But besides that, it was great. But once I got my PlayStation 4, man, oh my god, it was donezo. But to be honest, I really didn't care. I just cared about playing with my quote-unquote friends at the time and playing games. That's it. Done. But the Xbox UI was very clunky and messy. When the PlayStation 4 was just clean, you had this top row for like your friends and like the PlayStation Store and all that, and on the bottom row you had your games and your apps, and it was very clean, very clean. Now let's talk about the online connection. The online connection was pretty decent, unlike the Nintendo Wii U at the time. Yeah, so that's great. But you had to freaking pay for it with these two systems. unlike the Wii U, which was free, so that's a plus. But no one bought a Wii U, except me. Twice. The Xbox One had online capabilities. It was the first console out of Nintendo or PlayStation to have an online service that would work, and it works pretty damn well. Although at one time with Christmas, both networks were down, and that was a no-go for me when I was a kid, because that was tragic. We don't talk about that. So it's $60 a year for both, which, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I'm a PC guy now, which is great, because you don't have to pay. Let's talk about the pros for Xbox. Sometimes new games are added on the day of release, and Parks offers some attractive bonuses across the year. The cons for Xbox Game Pass? The games offered are not as good as PlayStation's. Let's talk about PlayStation Plus pros and cons. The pros are the service offers games with the highest scores of reviews, and multiple tiers make price accessible based on your needs. Cons, the streaming service for old games is mediocre. But I believe that Xbox Game Pass is the ultimate, that was cringe, the ultimate price for you, not a sponsor, because it's $9 a month for core, and it goes up to $17 a month for ultimate. At the time of recording, PlayStation Plus for the yearly subscription costs $80 for the year. That's a lot of money. Yeah, before it used to cost $60, so boo. That is literally just for Essential. That's not getting the ultimate package or whatever they call it. And that's the whole shebang. You get like cloud streaming and more monthly games, I should say. Okay, let's talk about specs of the consoles. I'm not gonna get all mumbo jumbo with the numbers and stuff because I don't understand it. Maybe you understand it, but I sure as hell don't. Let's just say that the PS4 is way more powerful machine than the Xbox One. I know that. I know that. The PS4 had HDR, which the Xbox did not have HDR. But oh wait, how are you gonna put those games on the console? With the internal storage, of course. Both consoles had a 500GB hard drive. But on the PS4, you could actually remove the hard drive and upgrade it. Both had Blu-ray DVD players, which was a big plus at the time. Same graphics, backwards compatibility with 360 games. This was a plus back in the day. I remember that conference, and it was pretty good. I was excited for it. I was like, oh my god, you get to put Xbox 360 games on Xbox One? You can't do that on PS4. So, yeah, that was that. Wi-Fi was the same. You can use 8 controllers on the Xbox One and 4 controllers on the PlayStation 4, which is pretty cool. Take that as you will. Same amount of RAM. Ports. They had pretty much the same amount of ports, except for the Kinect. The graphics were about the same. They had Bluetooth, obviously. The PlayStation 4 had support for 1080p and 4K resolutions, while the Xbox One only had 1080p and 720p. And that's about it for the specs. Buying a freaking PS4 over the Xbox One. So PS4 wins. Subscribe. At the time of recording, PlayStation Plus now costs $80 a month. That's a lot. I said that wrong.